Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Teen Book Tuesday. My name is Lorie, and I'm the teen librarian at Manlius Library in snowy central New York, and I'm coming to you today from my teen room. And I have two memoirs to tell you about. They're very different. They are both adapted from adult books for a young adult audience. The first one is by Kamala Harris. It's called The Truths We Hold, An American Journey. And it is the autobiographical memoir of the first woman, first African American, and first South Asian American to ever become the Attorney General of the state of California, only the second Black woman ever elected to the United States Senate, and now, of course, she is the first woman, first African American, and first South Asian American to become Vice President of the United States. In this book, she discusses the impact that her own family and community had on her life and how she came to discover her own sense of self and purpose. The book traces her journey as she explored the values she holds most dear and what would move her forward both personally and professionally. The values of community, equality, and justice. It's an inspiring and empowering memoir. It challenges us to become leaders in our own lives and shows us that with determination and perseverance, all dreams are possible. I'm going to read you just a little bit from the preface. On July 4th, 1992, one of my heroes and inspirations, former Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, gave a speech that deeply resonates today. "We cannot play ostrich," he said. "Democracy just cannot flourish amid fear. Liberty cannot bloom amid hate. Justice cannot take root amid rage. America must get to work. We must dissent from the indifference. We must dissent from the apathy. We must dissent from the fear, the hatred, and the mistrust." This book grows out of that call to action and out of my belief that our fight must begin and end with speaking truth. We cannot solve our most stubborn problems unless we are honest about what they are, unless we are willing to have difficult conversations and accept what facts make plain. We need to speak truth, that there are forces of hate in this country: racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, and anti-Semitism, and we need to confront them. We need to speak truth, that with the exception of Native Americans, we all descend from people who weren't born on our shores, whether our ancestors came to America willingly, with hopes of a prosperous future, or forcibly on a slave ship, or desperately to escape a painful past. We need to speak truth about what it will take for all American workers to earn a living with dignity and decency. We must speak truth about who we send to jail in this country and why. We must speak truth about companies that make a profit, taking advantage of the most vulnerable among us. And I intend to do just that. Just two more things before we get started. First, my name is pronounced Kamala, like the punctuation mark. It means lotus flower, which is an important symbol in Indian culture. My mom was from India, and she wanted to give me a name that celebrated her family's background. A lotus grows underwater, its flower rising above the surface while its roots are planted firmly in the river bottom. And second, I want you to know how personal this book is for me. This is the story of my family. It is the story of my childhood. It is the story of the life I have built since then. You'll meet my family and my friends, my colleagues, and my team. I hope you will cherish them as I do, and through my telling, see that nothing I have ever accomplished could have been done on my own. Kamala. And that is The Truths We Hold, An American Journey by Kamala Harris. The second is called The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi Coates. And this is a very different memoir, but it is equally beautiful. It is the story of Ta-Nehisi growing up in Baltimore in the 1980s, which was known at the time as the murder capital of the United States. He was a dreamer, all cupcakes and comic books at the core. As a child, Ta-Nehisi was seen by his father, Paul, as too sensitive and lacking focus. Paul Coates was a Vietnam vet who had been part of the Black Panthers and was dedicated to reading and publishing the history of African civilization. And when it came to his sons, he was committed to raising proud Black men equipped to deal with a racist society during a turbulent period in the collapsing city of Baltimore where they lived. In The Beautiful Struggle, Coates talks about the challenges of dealing with his tough love father, along with the influence of his mother and the dynamics of his extended family, including his brother, Big Bill, who was on a very different path than Ta-Nehisi. Coates also talks of his family struggles at school, with girls, making this a timely story which just about anybody can relate to. He was very heavily influenced by the New York noise of mid to late 1980s hip hop, so it's not surprising that his prose takes on an infectious hip hop, poetic meets medieval folklore aesthetic. It's a fabulous book. It's a quick read. It is, I hate to use the word important, but it's important. It's also beautiful. It's a wonderful story. I highly recommend it. So there you go. We've got The Truths We Hold by Kamala Harris and The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Oh, one other thing about this one is there is a map, because he talks about living on the streets. Well, not literally, but his time spent on the streets with his friends and other people. And this really helps keep track of where he is when he's in the story. So there's a map. As you all know, I love a map. So 2 books for you to choose from. If you are interested in either of those, pop over to our website and we'll put a hold on it and we'll set up a curbside pickup for you. Thanks for joining me. My name is Lorie. I'm the teen librarian at Manlius Library in beautiful, snowy central New York. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. Have a great week and happy reading.